Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett. We're going over some recent releases from Marvel Comics, and they've hooked us up with this trade. So this is Marvel Knights Black Panther, The Client. This brings together, I think, the first volume of the Marvel Knights Black Panther run from 1998. It's been 20 years, and Marvel's celebrating this. So this is issues 1 through 5 of that series. And a hell of a creative team. We got Christopher Priest, or just Priest, Mark Texeira, Alitha E. Martinez, Brian Haberlin. Now, for those who don't know, Marvel Knights was kind of like the adult-ish version of the Marvel Universe. They took a lot of their traditional characters, gave them a bit, I don't say darker spin, but more like an adult focus of stuff. And this was Black Panther's take on that. This is an interesting book. There's a lot that holds up that's still very good. You can see a lot of influences in the recent Black Panther film in it. But there's a lot of stuff also that, holy shit, did it not age well. There's a lot of stuff with the Dormology. It numerous times references how they're underage and they're being groomed to be T'Challa's wife. There's even a scene with him making out with one, so they're underage. He's making out with an underage girl. Like, that didn't age at all. And even of the time, that was kind of jacked up. And then you've got Everett Ross, who at times is just straight up racist in the comic. That didn't age well as well either. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's pushing the bounds on this. Generally, I really like the story. The story is basically that there's a foundation in the U.S., girl winds up getting killed. Foundation's funded by Wakanda and T'Challa. He heads to the U.S. to go figure out what the hell's going on. In Wakanda, there's issues there in that they're bringing in refugees. And, of course, he's away from his country, so, of course, things don't go well. I don't want to bring the spin as to like who's behind it and who's involved in all that, because that's kind of interesting stuff. But it all really comes together nicely in a cool story that I dig. In fact, there's a lot of stuff you can see in Ta-Nehisi Coates' run that's clearly influenced by this. I haven't read tons of Black Panther. I'm just straight up honest on that. A lot of the things I have read came after this, and while there was definitely like the political machinations and all that, I don't remember a lot of it really having all the maneuvering that's, behind the scenes and people jockeying for position and manipulating each other, stuff like that. This does have that, which is, I think, really good, really excellent when it comes to that. And, that's a lot of the stuff that I think Coates' run has been really good about, is that there has been tons of that machinations, the behind-the-scenes stuff, the politics, which it should be. I mean, that's something that Black Panther's really known for, and it stands out for the character. So knows that aspect, like, I think this is a great trade. There's just a bunch of stuff in it that I kind of paused and said, ooh, that's not good. The art itself, it's not my style. And it's just, I think that really comes down to it, like, I don't think I've ever really enjoyed Mark Texeira's art, and it's not a knock on him, it's just a preference of style. Like, you might dig it, which is totally cool, it's just not really my thing. There is some great stuff to it, though, like, there's some really cool panels and looks and all that, and I think that's great, but just the coloring and the art and all that, like, it's just not, it doesn't quite work for me. The other thing that's really interesting reading this is it's very much of the time. There is a heavy Quentin Tarantino aspect to it as far as how the story is laid out and the various threads kind of coming together, and the narrative coming from from Everett Ross. Did I say Alex Ross before? Everett Ross. So that, I think that's kind of interesting as well. But yeah, it's just, it's, in some ways, this is clearly, it's influenced a lot. And the fact that it's influenced so much that's come after, that alone makes this like well worth picking up, and one of those things that you need to read, especially if you're really interested in Black Panther or anything. So, as something that's influenced, top notch. There's just aspects to it that absolutely make me wince and kind of go, what the hell? And yeah, like that's kind of where I'm at with this. Like, there's some good in the bad. Like, I don't know what else to describe. There are a bunch of extras. Christopher Priest has some stuff written so far, or written in the back of it. But it's also got some of the sketches and the pages like as they're being worked out, which I always love stuff like this. There's not tons of them, but there's more than enough to like really keep it interesting. And then there's just like some aspects, and Chris Reese describing Black Panther and what he likes about him. So I think that's kind of neat there. So I'm really enjoying. I enjoy that aspect of it. So again, so basically the short of this is it's absolutely clearly influenced a lot of what's going on today. For that reason alone, it's worth picking up and reading. It's also got some really rough aspects to it that, that does not age well at all. So there's that. So yeah, I'm just, it's kind of where it's at. And like, if you're into Black Panther and you haven't read this, go for it. This is a perfect opportunity to get this. But you know, I think there's better Panther stuff out there to read. I'm going to be honest. That don't have the parts that make me wince. Go with that. Like the Dora Milaje aspect of them being underage has been downplayed a lot. Them being courted to be his wife, not so much. So yeah, like the underage aspect that gets kind of jacked up. That's really jacked up. All right. If you're into comics, you can go get this now. You can get into comic shops. You can get it at bookstores. We got a link beneath this video. You put in your zip code. Tell if your shop's near you. If there's no shop, no problem. We've got affiliate links as well. You can purchase through that. Go support your comic shop first and foremost. Always support your comic shop. They need it. I want to thank Marvel for hooking us up with the review copy. As always, we appreciate your support, and thank you for watching. If you're into comics, if you're into Marvel, if you're into Black Panther, you can check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy. Keep me nice and consistent. Until next time, keep reading those comics. Wakanda forever, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.